The Philadelphia 76ers fall 116-106 against the Los Angeles Lakers as LeBron James and Anthony Davis completely dismantle the Sixers in the second half. The Lakers were shooting the lights out, 45% from three. Austin Reeves turned into Stephen Curry in his prime, like every role player does against the Sixers. And especially when you have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey sidelined, there's nothing you can do or say as a legitimate reason to take this Sixers team seriously. They just have no juice whatsoever. They are not going to be winning these games with their star players out. They're just not that type of team. They don't have that type of depth to be scraping out these wins. They are in free fall because they don't have Joel Embiid on the court. They don't have Tyrese Maxey on the court. And at this point, it's just entertainment. We can't seriously think to ourselves that this Sixers team is going to be competent and rack up these wins. Maybe are they able to fight it out against the Charlotte Hornets on Sunday? Maybe, especially if Nick Nurse keeps actually implementing these adjustments he made during the game that we are going to talk about. But the Sixers in general, it's a common theme with them throughout the season. They start out okay in the second half, maybe fall to like a 5-point deficit, but still be able to, keep themselves in the game. And then in the second half, the other team finally wakes up, goes on some crazy run. Sixers fail to answer, and then they get blown out. The Lakers only won by 10, but they had over a 15-plus point lead throughout the game. Sixers went on the run to close it out. But there were some positives to take from this game going forward. I think with the adjustments that Nick Nurse made, they, are clear indicators with how this rotation should shape up now with Embiid and Maxey out and with Embiid and Maxey coming back and with them forming that trio with PG. And we're going to break it all down here on NZ for 3, so be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're new around here, and let's get down to business. My main takeaway is that it is clear now that Jared McCain and KJ Martin should be getting good run with the Sixers, even with Embiid and Maxey back in, because with the options, the guys you have along the bench, like Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, Reggie Jackson, you need to start playing, some more youth and get some more energy and juice out of your bench rotation. And that is what the Sixers were getting in this game with KJ on the defensive end. He is a Swiss Army knife. Let me tell you something about KJ Martin. He can jump out of the gym, is a ball hawk defender, is really good at navigating through screens and just keeping his man in front of him. KJ has really impressed me on that end of the floor. And he brings a level of energy that does not show up in the box score, but his impact, it is definitely made on the court, really does energize the rest of the team too, lets them get out in transition with his hustle plays, diving for loose balls, getting some good deflections and all of that. KJ, he ended up with 11 points, 4 for 5 from the field, and made a three-pointer in the quarter. You don't really think of him much as an offensive player, but as a versatile defensive wing, KJ Martin really does have a lot of potential on that end of the floor. And I'm taking him any day over these triple guard lineups that Nurse is throwing out with Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon and Maxey. It's just not working. They're not good enough defensively to make up for the offensive advantages that you have with 3 floor spacing guards on the court. You need that ball hawk defender who's going to keep up that energy, who's going to not be getting blown by every 5 seconds, and is going to do the dirty work, do those little things that Nick Batum was doing for the Sixers last year. And I was saying about Caleb Martin that Nick Batum, honestly, he was better than Caleb Martin, at least from until this game, because what Batum did was that he provided a stable force within the Sixers. He was the yin to Kelly Oubre's yang, if that made sense. Kelly, he sort of plays like a chicken with his head cut off. We know what Kelly Oubre is, just an energy guy who will get hot from time to time. He was not hot at all. Went 4 for 16 from the field. And I think, honestly, his shot chucking was getting really annoying. in the second half. He just thought that he just had to take the game into his own hands and was really halting a lot of the ball movement that the Sixers had going for them. That was keeping them within striking distance against the Lakers. But yeah, we know what Kelly's going to do. He's going to get his shots up. He's going to sometimes have his isolations and stuff that's really going to make you scratch your head, but go, oh yeah, let's go, Kelly. But yeah, Batum as that stabilizing force on the court, really make with those high-low passes with Joel Embiid, just being a connector, setting solid screens, and being that catch-and-shoot force with his sweet, buttery smooth stroke. Nick Batum was so good with this team, and I thought that for a point he was actually better than Caleb Martin. But this performance from Caleb Martin makes me a lot more confident in him in the future and just a lot more overall positive regarding how he's going to fit in with the Sixers, because his shooting form looked a lot better in this game. If you were keeping up with the Sixers, watching these games as a psychopath, you notice that Caleb's shot, it's kind of out of the ordinary, swinging his legs out, a little bit of a hitch. But the three-pointer wasn't falling for him. There was a stat that came out where this game was Caleb's first game of the year where he hit more than 1 3 or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Caleb, he was letting it fly from deep, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. And his shot looked so much more poised and just tight and smooth and quick. Just a quick trigger from Caleb, and the ball was dropping for him. Yeah, so, I mean, role players, they have those kind of performances. They're hot and cold. But, I mean, Caleb's shot was looking really funky to start the season, and it did a little bit in Miami. But with the Sixers, it was especially really squiggly, if that made sense. Just was sort of out of whack, to say the least. But it did look a lot better in this game, I think. Just from the eye test, Caleb definitely looked a lot more comfortable out there. But now we got to look at these two guys, Jared McCain and Gershon Yabusele, who had standout performances, really solid overall outings for them in this game. And look, when we're analyzing the Sixers at this point, we can't take them seriously. We just got to look at these individual performances from these guys and how we can really predict how they're going to look next to Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, because we can't expect this team to win any games. They're just not good. They're just a random assortment of role players trying to figure it out. But when you got Paul George on the court, when he's actually playing in the game, only had 24 minutes and all that, Nick Nurse still being really conservative with him. But when he was on the court, Paul George, his ability to just go to the rim, break guys off the dribble, and swing the rock to either McCain or Gershon really did open up these offense for these guys. And that's why I'm still so excited to wait until Joel Embiid returns against the Knicks, hopefully. But about McCain first, there's no more excuses for Nick Nurse to not be giving this guy minutes. Eric Gordon has looked absolutely cooked so far. Had, way too many turnovers than I thought he would have. There's a stat where him and Kyle Lowry, it was the game against the Clippers. They played like over 30 minutes together and recorded 1 point. That is inexcusable. You can't be having these two old guys on the court at the same time. You need that youthful energy, that, the stamina and the hustle that Jared McCain provides, and the shooting stroke. McCain's three-point shot is finally coming around. He went 4 for 9 from 3, had 18 points, took 17 shots, only made 6 of them, didn't really have a good shooting performance, but that's what you expect out of rookies. And with McCain, if he does find playing time with next to Joel Embiid, all he's going to be doing is hoisting those three-pointers, and he's going to thrive in that role. I'm really excited to see how Jared McCain is going to be implemented in this offense, if he is. Because we know how Nick Nurse, he kind of does have those Doc Rivers tendencies to defer to his veterans and not change anything. But these indicators with KJ and Jared McCain, the energy that they provided, how they sparked the team. Nurse was talking about how that they were getting way too discouraged at the start of games or at the start of the second half or whatever when these other teams were going on runs and stuff. Well, you need that intensity to stay in the game, and that is something that Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon are not going to provide because they are just too old. But Jared McCain and KJ Martin, on the other hand, they have the ability to make some great plays for you on both ends of the floor, especially for McCain. He really was not as bad as I thought he'd be on the defensive end. He could slide his feet, he's fast, and he's quick, and he's strong too. And his three-point stroke, it's quick, and it's solid. Just all around from Jared McCain, it was a solid performance. I need to see more out of him in the future if Nick Nurse is going to give him playing time. The other incentive for playing McCain is from a logistical standpoint, because Daryl Morey is not afraid to be making moves and make sacrifices if it is going to be for the betterment of the team. And if McCain is just not being used at all, there is good reason to move him. Even though I really don't want that to happen, I think he should be getting a lot of run over Eric Gordon, even over Kyle Lowry from what I have seen from him. But in order for these other teams to find him as an attractive trade piece, he actually needs to get run on the court and, be a product, someone that they know what they're getting out of and that they can implement into their own scheme and help build around their young talent. Because if he can show that he could really fit well next to Joel Embiid, a superstar like that, then it's going to be better for these teams in understanding what the type of player McCain is going to be like. A lethal, combo guard who could really work off well when rubbing shoulders with someone who takes a lot of shots like Joel Embiid, just being that complementary piece and all of that. So Jared McCain, yeah, he needs to be getting more time. I don't want to see any more Eric Gordon minutes for now. I just need to see Jared McCain develop his game and start playing next to Joel Embiid, because that's something I'm really excited for. Yabu as well. He was on fire from deep as well. Did he also go 3 for 4? McCain went 4 for 9. Yabu went 3 for 4. Yeah, those wing shots, right or left wing, it's money for Gershon Yabusele. I'm really, really happy with the way his three-point shot has translated to the NBA. I thought it was going to be a lot rougher for him going into the EuroLeague, but he is shooting a really good percentage from three for what we expected out of him. Let me just pull it up real quick, but yeah, Yabusele, he's going to be a really good stretch for the Sixers if he can keep this up. Yeah, 4 attempts per game, 42% from deep. These individual performances that we're seeing from McCain, Yabu, KJ Martin, yeah, the Sixers, they're going to be losing a lot of games. But we are seeing indicators that, should be persuading Nick Nurse to make some changes with the lineup. It shouldn't take Tyrese Maxey getting injured to start being more experimental with these lineups. But that's pretty much all the takeaways I got from this game. Andre Drummond, he was playing pretty solid too. I know Andre, he can be a really annoying player at times, but we just got to remember that he's a backup center. He had 12 rebounds. He was really giving Anthony Davis the business on some plays too, backing him down in the post. But I think just the overall general approach we should be taking from these Sixers performances is, one, we got to take a step back. We can get frustrated and all of that, but we got to realize this is not the product. We can get really mad about the record that we have, and it makes sense. But there are some silver linings out of this, and that's, one, we're not the Milwaukee Bucks. We're not a fully healthy team going out there and playing pathetically every single game with their 2 stars out there. Because the Sixers, they're not healthy. That's the thing. But just taking a step back, realizing that these guys are role players, and that in the system, in the scheme, once Embiid and PG and Maxey are together, the way they're going to be playing is the reason why they were brought here to the Sixers in the first place. But in the moment, it is really frustrating because we've been waiting so long to see this team finally play. And it is frustrating, for sure, to have them at the bottom of the Eastern Conference look like they're tanking for Cooper Flag. But I do feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Sixers, because it's not the final product, and the Eastern Conference just kind of sucks in general. Like the Charlotte Hornets, they're 4-5, and they're the 4th seed. Like the East is not good at all, and the Sixers really aren't in that deep of a hole as much as you really thought they would when you sort of look at it from a different perspective, not just as the Sixers as an individual team, but how they're stacking up against the rest of the Eastern Conference. It really isn't as bad as it should be, as it appears to be, even though it is just still really, kind of just upsetting and frustrating just to see how they've been performing throughout the season. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got from this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.